All right, looks like we're live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and this is my channel. We love comics. Hopefully, you are enjoying your weekend. It is a nice, beautiful day here in sunny Florida, and I hope it's nice and warm and definitely beautiful day wherever you are. Been raining almost every day for the past almost month, it seems like like torrential downpours, so it's nice to not need an umbrella or anything. So we got an unboxing to do. Sorry I haven't made a video in a couple of days. I'm actually in the process, and I got to finish it after this video, of resealing the roof because of all those wonderful days of raining. It got a minor little drip hole leak, so I'm going to go fix that. And we had to take another one of the cats to the vet, and that cat is doing fine. So, without further ado, while we're waiting for people to come in, always want to tell people about my Patreon. If you would like to join my Patreon, you could just go to patreon.com/we love comics, and you'll get your name shouted out on every single video I do. If you want a link to a YouTube channel of yours, or a Facebook page, or an auction site, instead of just your name, just let me know, and I have no problem doing that. And then once we get to 20 people that are paid Patreon members, I got some giveaways. So let's give a shout out to Carl, Sith, Scott, Michael B, Kevin W, James R, Dan L, Kim N, Annabelle N, Jason B, Stephen L. Then the last two wanted their other things promoted instead of just their name. So if you have Facebook, check out Darth Bleak at Stephen L. Turk Author. Wrote a book, had a contest about a month ago. Sent out 4 or 5 signed copies of his book. He's got a whole series that he's writing. So go check him out and tell him We Love Comics sent you. And then last but not least, if you have Instagram, go check out Silver Age Surfer _comics. And again, tell them We Love Comics sent you. They really appreciate that. So really quick, just to show you, you could pause this if you want to check. Once we get to 20 paid members, you can end up having all these giveaways happen. So there is no minimum to enter other than the minimum to join anybody's Patreon. But for every $2 you apply to your We Love Comics Patreon account, you'll get one entry for every $2. So the more you put in, the more chances you'll get. And that'll be every month once we get to 20 paid members. Trying to get some trades happening. I own one of the comics you see on here, but it wasn't via trade. So I would not mind getting a second one if I have to via trade. So if you know anybody that has these books, or you have one of these books and you'd like to trade for, if it takes 10, 15 of my books, as long as it's a fair trade, or it takes anything you've seen on my shelves, whether they're signed basketball or baseball cards, or signed merchandise, or Star Wars figures, if you think those can help in the trade, by all means, please contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. So we got Comic Mike. We got Florence in the live chat. Welcome, everybody. All right, so I got 2 unboxings I'm going to do for you. This is a comic I already have a bunch of. As a matter of fact, the comic I'm about to open, I bought 2 of them the day they came out back in the days, but back then it just wasn't worth anything for a while. Now this book is definitely getting up there, and with movies that are going to be coming out, um, I would recommend, if you could find a deal, pick these up if you haven't acquired them yet, because I have a feeling for a while they're going to get more expensive before they get cheaper. And remember, even when there's dips, especially on a key issue book, they're going to go up again. So be very careful about trying to always time the bottom, because a lot of people, everybody wants deals. I understand that. But if you try too hard to always figure out where the bottom is, a lot of times you'll end up missing out, because you'll be saying, all right, it's low enough, but I want to try and see if it'll go lower. It might dip a little bit more. Then you're like, all right, I waited for it to get lower, and now it's even lower, but not as much as I'd like. So let's wait and see. And then all of a sudden you turn on eBay or look in the comic book stores, and that book is shot up $50 overnight. So be very careful, always trying to hit rock bottom. I mean, deals are always out there. I show people all the time. You can make deals happen. Don't be afraid to contact an eBay seller or somewhere else, even if you're at a comic book store. If you buy 4 or 5 books and say, well, if I bundle these all together, what kind of deal can we make? The worst that happens is they say no, they can't do it. A lot of times you can make deals, and I make deals happen all the time. So, again, this is a book I would highly recommend getting. And then, as usual, I always tell you the significance of the book. I'll even give my explanation as to why. I'm sure most of you probably will know once you see the book. And if you want to take a guess of what that is in the comment section, if you're here live, by all means, please do. Or you can do it later on once the video is uploaded. All right, so they put some bubble wrap, which is always appreciated. I always tell people, never assume a seller knows or cares about how to ship a comic. Always ask them how to do it. They don't always listen, but many do. This person, for the bottom of the packaging, put paper towels. But hey, it looks like it's safe. They did put it in cardboard, so I asked them for that. So always appreciated. So the more information you give people, the more likely your comic is going to not be mailed in the what I like to call the manila envelope of death. And if you've been buying, trading comics as long as I have, or many others on YouTube have, I'm sure it's almost a rite of passage to get that at least once. And no one wants to see that, especially if it arrives dented or folded and it's a very expensive book. So I always try and remind people because I never assume everybody knows that's watching my videos. There may be a person that's watching my channel for the very first time because, maybe they just turned 10 years old and just got into comics, or maybe they're in their 50s and finally are retired and have enough money to get into recollecting again. You never know. So you never want to assume that just because somebody's watching a comic book video, that they know everything about it. And a lot of times, especially how some people in this community are to people who may not know everything, I'm sure a lot of people are sometimes intimidated or afraid to ask questions, especially ones that might be basic. Everybody starts out in the beginning. So if anybody ever wants to ask me questions that they might be embarrassed or afraid of online, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions because I know what that's like. Some people on the internet can be cruel. Now, this one is in a lot better condition than what I originally thought. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to take it out and look at the whole thing, but I won't do that now. But let's show the first book. And Pino's here also in Punisher XS. Good to see you guys. So we got Amazing Spider-Man number 300. Now, this isn't a Mark Jewelers. I wish it was. I don't own one. I don't believe I do. But this is a newsstand variant. So I highly recommend to people if you're going to get this book because, let's face it, this is not a rare book. But the biggest thing that drives me crazy in this community is when people make videos saying that just because something is not rare means it may not hold value. That is not the case, at least not always, because just because something's rare does not mean it holds value. I mean, I can show you a book that could be in a 25-cent bin for a decade that may have 100 copies. If it's not desirable, it doesn't matter if it's rare. And for example, let's say in a newsstand, let's say there's 500,000 of these still out there. Okay, remember this book came out around 88, 89, somewhere in that area. And newsstands are about 12 to 15% of a total print run. It does vary. And throughout the decades, like I said, if you're as old as I am and I'm about to turn 54 in November, this book for the first 10, 20 years, just like New Mutants 98, nobody cared about. I had a Todd McFarlane signed Amazing Spider-Man 300 that I bought the day it came out, got signed myself by Todd McFarlane in New York Comic Con. And I remember back 15, 20 years ago, I tried to sell that book at a yard sale for $45 and nobody wanted it. So how many of these books got damaged or thrown out or are just in real low grade? So Pino says the same thing. I remember buying it off the rack. Yeah, I was lucky enough to buy two of them, but for the first 10, 15 years of that book, nobody cared about it. That isn't the same anymore. So let's assume, because this is a newsstand, let's say there's 500,000 of them left in still in circulation. Now, that is not rare, but how many people want this book? So if there are 1 million people who want to own this book, and there are only 500,000 copies, well, that means half of those people, if they want this book, would have to outbid the others to get it, which is how prices rise. Which to me should be, for anyone that's ever studied even the most basic of economics, should know about supply and demand and how prices of any commodity or anything can be stagnant for a long time and then all of a sudden shoot up, is because it depends on the consumer. See, the people that sell items are not in control of prices. It's what people are willing to pay. So if somebody sees this book, and I want to see, this book looks like, and again, I'd have to check the whole thing, but this looks like easily, because I don't see any ticks. You know what? Let's open up the back because I want to see what you guys, if you're in the live chat or later on. Yeah, this looks really nice. There's 3 or 4 minor color breaks, so this isn't going to be a 9/8. But considering the back of this book has all that black, I mean, you're not seeing a lot of these. There's going to be lines all over the place. Now, like I said, it's probably not even going to pick them up. They're so small, but they do break color. But there's about 3 or 4 very minor. I mean, you're talking millimeters. So this book is minimum, in my opinion. And I'll show you the front. I mean, you don't see any spine ticks. So I would say it's a minimum of a 9.0. Now let's open it up. It's got like off-white to white pages. Nothing is cut out. And I'll tell you something, I always check the first page because sometimes you could find out, because back in the days, even when I was going to Comic Cons back in the early 90s, artists used to sign, especially before that, artists used to sign on the first page. Most people didn't want the cover of their books signed. So I always tell people you could actually have a book that has the inside signed, especially on the bottom is where they tend to sign it, and you may not even know you have a signed copy. So always check because you never know. So this book looks nice and clean. So again, this is not the first appearance of Venom, ladies and gentlemen, just in case. This is the first full appearance. But with a newsstand, and again, this is easily at least a 9.0, definitely not going to be a 9.6 or a 9.8. So I would say between a 9.0 and a 9.4. Of course, with a pressing and dry cleaning, that's always going to help because I always recommend, I don't care who you send your comics to get graded. I always recommend getting your books pressed and dry cleaned. So because of the amount that you will pay, which is roughly, depending on who you send it to, between about $18 to maybe in the upper 40s. If it's a very expensive book, it's probably going to be a lot higher. But let's say the average is about $25 to $30 for a pressing. If you go from like a 9.0 to a 9.6 in this book, you're talking $200-300. That's a good investment. Spending about 30 to get about $200 or $300 extra, even if it's 100, you're still making out. So it definitely pays. So if you're in the live chat and if you want to look it up on eBay, by all means, please do. An Amazing Spider-Man number 300, which is the first full appearance of Venom. Not the first black costume, but this is an iconic cover that's been basically stolen 5,000 times. People, you know, they say they're paying homage. To me, I think it's just lazy people who are stealing somebody else's idea. But I mean, to be fair, Todd McFarlane has stolen this himself, but it's his to do. How much would you pay? Put it in the live chat. And if you were watching this later, put it in the comments section. What would be the highest amount you would have paid for this book if there was an offer? Because I made a deal happen. And if you don't want to put it, that's fine. Or you don't know, or you don't care, that's fine. With shipping and handling, well, I paid, let's see, past returns, welcome to see you. Yes, 300 is not rare. I absolutely said that in this video. But when I had a defect where 300 had another 300 bounded on the same copy, Oh, you mean a double cover? That's extremely rare. If you had a double cover, now, I would absolutely hold on to that because especially I used to have a Batman issue 100 double cover that I sent and that I had and I ended up selling a couple years ago. But yeah, I will never anybody that tells you Amazing Spider-Man 300 is rare is lying to you. But again, this could have 1 million copies. If 1,000,005 want this book, not everybody's going to be able to pay a cheap price for it. Also, remember, ladies and gentlemen, how many people have multiple copies of this? I probably have about 6 or 7 copies of it. I guarantee you, the majority of, especially the bigger YouTubers out there in the comic book community, have several copies of this book, which makes it even harder for other people to be able to get this. So, again, newsstand variant, this is not rare, but the newsstand variant is going to be rarer than the regular version. Because remember, the regular version has I believe, the image of Spider-Man, like his head right here. So the newsstand is the barcode. Now, just because something's a newsstand doesn't automatically make it rarer, especially when you're talking about the 70s. But when you're talking late 80s and 90s and up, they're absolutely a lot rarer, with, I'm sure, a few exceptions here and there. So I paid $200 for this book. So with shipping and handling and eBay taxes, I only paid $222.25. So Pino said he would pay $300 for this book. Punisher XS said $269. Both of those are actually good prices because remember, I showed the book. This is easily, in my opinion, and I'm not a professional grader, but if you've watched my PGX over the 7 years I've been doing it, I'm pretty spot on within a half a grade or so for the majority of the estimates of my grades. This is, in my opinion, between a 9.0 and a 9.4. Newsstand variant for $222.25. Um, considering, and this is where people have to realize with this. Yes, Sony is doing the Venom movie. Yes, Sony does not do a good job when it comes to their movies. And the new Venom movie is probably not going to be an exception. You never know. Accidents do happen. Sony might actually make a good movie. Who knows? But, nobody's going to hold their breath. But the rumors are, and of course, remember, even if rumors are absolutely true, until you see it on the screen, does not mean that things can't change. Or, you know, they actually even film it and then they cut the scene out. So always take any rumor, no matter who is the person, no matter how reputable they are, because, like I've given in examples, Omega Red was actually supposed to be in the first Deadpool movie, and they actually shot scenes, but it got cut out. So even if somebody says, yeah, I've seen the character, being filmed, unless you see it in the final cut, it's irrelevant. But the rumors are that not only, by the way, is Venom going to be potentially, and I'm going to say potentially, moving to the MCU in Spider-Man 4, but so is Null. What I think is going to happen with Sony, because they've shown the image of Null in their um, trailer, so it's not a spoiler alert. I could 99% safely say that I think Null is not going to be in the movie at all, and is probably just going to be shown in an end credit scene like they did with Thanos when he first had his end credit scene in Avengers. So, to me, them moving to the MCU is going to be a big deal. And many people are shying away from this because there will be people that will say Amazing Spider-Man 300 is not rare. You're absolutely right. Rarity has nothing to do with value unless the demand for that item is lower than the supply. So if you have 15 million of something and 30 million people want that 15 million of whatever it is, 15 million is not rare, but there's a 15 million deficit, which means there will be some who will have to overpay. So please, ladies and gentlemen, I know for whatever reason, I'm the controversial channel that many people feel the need to poop on for whatever reason. It's their rite of passage, or, you know, pick a person when they're down, or because I don't retaliate or do drama videos, let them do what they want. And I know there's a lot of bigger channels that people follow, some of them very drama oriented, that you're going to listen to that may have alternative motives. I mean, there are people that have comic book stores that make comic book videos promoting brand new comics and they sell them. To me, that's a conflict of interest. And yet, so many people have learned about it. I mean, how many people did I warn when that Ultimate Fallout 4 foil variant came out and people were spending 800, 900, $1,000 on that book? Even though I've been telling people to get Ultimate Fallout 4 since 2016 or 2017, I think it's 2016, back when you could buy it for $10 to $12, I told people I wouldn't touch that book with a 10-foot, 100-foot, 2-foot pole. And look how much that book is worth now. That book, good luck trying to get $100 for that book. I have always tried to prevent my viewers, as small as they are, from ever getting screwed over or taken advantage of. I mean, you see if you know anything about YouTube drama, there's a controversy about three major YouTubers out there. I mean, I'm talking the multimillionaire ones that are doing a kind of lunchable thing for kids, which is basically selling garbage to kids. And these people have done like scams with not Bitcoin, but other alternative coins because they know they have a big following. They can just say, oh, I'm looking to buy this particular coin, watch it go up in value. And then they sell all of theirs after they do the pump and then dump scheme and make millions of dollars off people. There are plenty of people, even in the comic book community, that will use the drama and give the excitement of the fear of missing out on stuff to make money off of you. Now, you notice my channel never does that. Now, I can get somebody to argue and say, well, you do auctions. Well, I do one auction, what, every 3 or 4 months? And I always work with people with prices. I always sell them for cheaper than what the lowest is sold on eBay. I do payment plans up to 2 years. So I'm not out to take advantage of anyone. So, I mean, whether you listen to me or not, perfectly fine. It's up to you. If you want to hook your wagon to these bigger YouTubers that use drama and the fear of missing out for you to buy books that some of them actually sell, they say a fool and their money is soon parted. I try and stop people or prevent people from doing that stuff. So just be careful. All right, so let's get to the next book. Let me know in the comments section if you think that Amazing Spider-Man 300, again, at least a 9.0 in my opinion, newsstand variant for $222. If you think that's a good deal, let me know in the comments section. Because even the two people that did say they would get it would pay. One of them said 269 and the other said 300. Now remember, on eBay you have to include the taxes and shipping. The 222 actually includes the shipping and taxes because I actually got it for 200. And then of course with eBay, you got to pay those taxes and then whatever the people charge for shipping. Now, to be fair, there are plenty of people on eBay that will do free shipping, but there are some that will charge ridiculous amounts for shipping to basically try and make up for a low price. I remember back in the days, people would like sell an item on eBay for like 10 cents or $1, and then the shipping would be $100. Because back in the beginning of the days of eBay, you only got charged for what you sold, not including shipping. All right, so it seems they threw in some extra books. That's cool. All right. So we've got, if anybody knows if there's any significance of these two, I doubt it, but they threw in two books for free, newsstands. This is Amazing Spider-Man 269. So if anything, Should be worth $5, $10. Then we got Amazing Spider-Man 257, also a newsstand. So I don't know if any of those two have significance. I doubt it, but that's okay. So we got Amazing Spider-Man number 298. This is actually the first Todd McFarlane work on Spider-Man. When I was a kid and I saw the Amazing Spider-Man, well, I was like a teenager, actually, not a kid, but I guess being at 53, that's seems like a kid these days. I remember seeing Todd McFarlane's work at a 7-Eleven, and I didn't like what they did with Spider-Man. I didn't like the fact that he made Spider-Man's eyes so big. But then it just caught on, and then, over time I grew to love it. And I this is another book I bought the day it came out, and also got this signed by Todd McFarlane along with the Amazing Spider-Man 300. So this one isn't a newsstand, but absolutely great cover. First Todd McFarlane. Then we've got, this is another must own. This is Amazing Spider-Man 299. This is the first cameo, so the first appearance ever of Venom. So remember, it is a cameo, but you can't have the first full appearance without a cameo unless they're both in the same book, where the appearance is the first book that you see and doesn't have a cameo. But absolutely, this is a book to own. And then last but not least, another newsstand variant. And just to show I'm not trying to put another one out there, just trying to use the same one. Another Amazing Spider-Man 300. Let's open this one up. So there was supposed to be 3 books, but they sent 2 more. Now this one's a little bit lower. You can clearly see 3 or 4 color breaks. It's got a bend along the spine, but that's non-color breaking. That could be pressed out. Again, check the first page. No signature, unfortunately. But I would say this one's probably, and I'll show it. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's an indent, but it doesn't break color. But you can see, again, it's not bombarded with color breaking creases, but there are about 2 or 3 a little bit bigger. No, they're not Mark Jewelers, unfortunately. That's all right. I'll take the newsstands, because again, newsstands are going to be rarer than the regular edition, but not rare. I would love to have an Amazing Spider-Man 300 Mark Jewelers, but I do not believe I own one. So, the 299 and 298 are the regular version of the book. The other 2 throw-in comics are newsstands, but I don't believe have any significance. Let's see in the comment section. And again, I'll show so you don't think I just took the same book and put it as oh, look what I got. How much would you have paid for this set? This is probably between an 8.5 and a 9.0. Well, let's just go, just in case, an 8.0 to 9, between an 8 and a 9. But again, newsstand, which makes it a little rarer. Not going to say it's rare. A Mark Jewelers would be considered rare, especially in that book, because I haven't seen one, and the ones that I have seen on eBay are extremely expensive. Put in the live chat how much you would have paid for those. .333 says 299 is what McFarlane says is the first Venom. Yeah, it's like the whole thing with the first appearance of Gambit. It's basically the community that dictates these things. I mean, because Gambit's first appearance is not X-Men 266. It's the annual, because it's not a cameo. He's in several pages. He has speaking words. He's part of it. He's not like a last panel like Hulk 180. But the community is going to decide what's the most valuable. So Sequential Geek says, let's put it this way. If you could get $160 for an Amazing Spider-Man high-grade newsstand variant alone, good luck with that. So that's one of those wishful thinking. Now, you never know. A deal might be out there, But if I were you, Sequential, I would go look out at what just Amazing Spider-Man 300, especially now that they've announced Venom is going to be making Venom the final Venom movie for Sony, and the rumors being that then he'll basically go on to the MCU. I mean, hey, if you could find Amazing Spider-Man 300 for 160 in a newsstand in at least an 8.0, God bless you, my friend. Let me know if you do. But that is definitely a low price for that. What did Kino said 350. That's a little bit more of what would be realistic. What did I pay for this? Um, I paid 430. Now I did, to be fair, bought this about a month or two ago and just opening it now. So everybody's saying lower than what I paid for it. Hey, you can't, as they say, you can't win them all, but also you got to look up the value of these books. So if anybody can find those three books for 250, 160, let me know because I'll buy them. This is why I highly recommend. Let's go on eBay. Let's do this together, shall we? And let's look up. Let's just put hold on, there's an advertisement. Spider Man 298, 299, and 300. And let's see some sales. So let's go scroll down. Let's see. Let's go to sold items. So a regular version of 298, 299, and 300 with included 301 just sold on September 11th for 850, but it said best offer accepted. There's another one, and again, none of them are newsstand, 549. An 8.5 Amazing Spider-Man 300 regular edition alone, 600 best offer. Let's go lowest. Let's see what the lowest sold for. And you can look this up yourself. Okay, so the lowest is 298, 299, and 300, all three newsstands, not graded, 550 or best offer. Now the line isn't crossed out, which means somebody paid that full price. So let's take a look. And I'm going to put on the screen. Give me a second. Let's do a screen capture. So right here, and let's see how these look. Now you can see all the dirt. Look at all the wrinkles. See up top here? All the wrinkling. Look at all the wrinkles. Now that could be potentially the bag. You never know. But you could see the crease. These look like 5.0s. Like, see, there's a piece there that's missing. They don't show the back of the book. See all the dirt right here? That's definitely not a shadow. So this, and you could see right here, see this? There's what they call a subscription crease. It's usually in the middle, but you can see right here, there's a line. I don't know if it goes all the way, but it kind of looks like it stops around there. But you could see all of this is wrinkled. So this person bought that book for $550. So this is why I tell people, make sure I understand when people want to buy a book for a cheap price. But you have to remember that prices are, now remember, those prices do not include the shipping and does not include eBay taxes. So Sequential Geek says, so we lose now 1/3 for taxes, right, when sales surpass 600 each. That's, well, that's Bidenomics for you with the whole tax thing. But that's why it pays. I understand, like, when I say prices of stuff, people be like, oh, that doesn't seem right. Or you have to go with the times. So I always recommend to people look at the prices of books. Now, remember, I always tell people, and this is why every time I've made an auction, I've always made money. No exception. I've never lost money on any book I've ever sold. And I've sold them all pretty much for below what the lowest price has ever been sold on eBay during a 2-year period. With exceptions, obviously, if there's a movie that just came out, that's going to increase the value and desirability. But when I buy an investment, I don't buy it based on where the price is. I don't buy it where the price was. I buy it on where the price is going. I will be able to, in another year to maybe 2 years, be able to easily make hundreds of dollars of profit off of those books. Now, I have plenty of the newsstands that I've bought for around that price. And if you don't think that's a good deal, I will never say to somebody, oh, if you don't buy it, there's something wrong with you or you're wrong or whatever. Everybody has the right to their own opinion. Roland says, what do you think of, I'm not even going to say the person's name, being critical of all the comic book YouTubers? If you want to read the comment of who that person is, by all means do. Because supposedly somebody told me this person did a video that included trashing me. I've never said this person's name. I've never said anything bad about this person. I don't watch their videos. I don't subscribe to them. Because here's what I've gathered. I tried to watch maybe one or two videos of this quote unquote gentleman. And here's what my conclusion of this individual, and this is my opinion. I could be 100% wrong. I don't really care. To me, from what I've seen and what I've heard, this individual seems to want to troll people, especially bigger names, to get attention. And because no matter how many people say they don't like YouTube drama, will watch his videos. Because every now and then there'll be a recommendation on my recommendation, because I'll watch comic book videos, and every now and then you'll get, comic book recommendations from different channels you don't watch. And I'll see this person will have 4, 5, 6,000 views. So people like the drama. To me, people like that, they have the right to be mean. They have the right to use other people's names and legacies. And I'm not saying I'm a legacy or anything. This person is going after channels much bigger than mine ever were, even at my highest point. If you're doing that to get views, then that means you might not have the substance to have videos that are of the nature of quality that people want to listen to. And that's why when my channel got big at one time, it didn't get big because I was causing drama. It didn't get big because I was calling out other YouTubers to try and get them to go back and forth. I didn't think my channel would ever amount to anything. I was just showing comics. I didn't even show my face back in the days. If you're somebody that's followed me throughout the years, I just showed comics and talked about them with passion and with honesty and sincerity, and people gravitated to it. So that's why I have some loyal people that have been following me probably since my beginning. This person has the right to do what he does. Whether you like somebody's speech or not, if you believe in true freedom of speech, especially if you live in the United States of America Corporation, if you believe in the First Amendment, the First Amendment is not to protect words you like. It's words to also protect words you may not like. And it's up to the community to dictate who they want to follow. Now, you'll notice my videos will get 200 or 300. Why? Because I don't do drama. I don't do special effects. I just show comics, share my advice freely, let you decide for yourself, and then go on. Now, does that mean I'm an angel who did nothing wrong? No. But I'm not out deliberately trying to get views. I don't do clickbait. I don't do trolling videos. I don't insult other YouTubers. The one YouTuber that I made a video about years ago, I've made videos talking about it and admitting as it was a mistake. It wasn't intentionally trying to hurt the person. I just should have talked to that person privately. So you guys that watch my channel know that. But that channel has the right to do what they do. I, as a dictator of my ability to consume, whether via buying a product or watching a video, will choose not to focus any time, effort, or energy into channels like that. If you want to do it, by all means, please do. Now, the only reason I even know this individual did a quote unquote roast about me, and I know nothing about what he said, don't care, is because one of my subscribers messaged me one day and said, "Hey, did you know such and such channel just did a roast video and roasted you?" Okay. Considering I've never said anything bad about this person, considering I've never made a video about this person, for them to go out of their way to whatever they did, I don't know if it was in jest or I don't know if it was done with viciousness, but I don't know and don't care what the person had to say. But there's an old saying that says, by their deeds you shall know them. For somebody to instigate calling out and insulting other people, to me, is a person that needs to find more peace in their life, in my opinion. Again, I could be wrong. Because recently I saw a recommendation video of this person, and I don't know who he was insulting, because again, I don't watch his content. I have no desire to. But his title was talking about either, I think, somebody's either Amazing Spider-Man collection or X-Men collection, and they were insulting it, saying this is a wannabe collector. To me, that takes nerve to do. Because what if that's a kid? Or what if it's a person who may not have money to buy X-Men #1 and 20 giant-size X-Men #1s and bought what they could afford? Or maybe the comics they showed were just comics they happened to be proud to own because maybe they bought them when they were a kid, or maybe they just like the cover. For somebody to go and say and have a title saying a wannabe collector shows off their whatever. Again, it's I don't know, I don't remember if it's either Spider-Man or X-Men. I believe it was X-Men. But to make a video basically attacking other channels, it'll get views. And this is why, even like, for example, what Hollywood's doing, they don't care about negative responses. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, I'll give my channel, for example. If you came here just to thumb down the video because you don't like me for whatever reason, that still brings traffic to my channel. That's what increases recommendations. That's what increases ad revenue. So even if you went on this video for 2 seconds just to hit thumbs down, I still get a click on a video from advertisement, and I get a click for traffic. So some of these channels, and again, I don't know his true intention. I don't care. But again, by their deeds, you should know him. If his channel is a lot about insulting others, not the Humanitarian of the Year award winner, in my opinion. But what it does is it gets people to go to the channel. You'll get people that'll go there because they want to watch the drama, want to watch the inner fighting, because it's entertainment for those people. And you'll get others that get mad about what that person might have said, and either they'll make a response video, or they'll leave a comment, or they'll just go to there to thumb down the video. But what it's doing is it's creating traffic to the person's channel. You are feeding the beast. Hollywood puts out this garbage, not caring about losing money, because first of all, I mean, yes, the minor workers at places like, for example, Disney, and the lower managers and stuff, yeah, they'll get fired. They'll lose their jobs. They'll get lower in pay. They'll get all the insults. The CEOs and the big top people, they're making millions of dollars. So they don't care, because even if a movie fails or a TV show fails, it's a tax write-off. But they've learned to trigger people to go to their video, to thumb it down, or to say hateful things, which is like a drug that makes you feel good about yourself temporarily. They're making millions of dollars by taking advantage of people's emotional instability. Let go of your anger. If somebody wants to say something nasty that is unwarranted, let them. That's why I'm not even going to mention this person's name. I'm sure many of you know who it is, because again, you could read the comment and you can see the name. But you'll notice I'm not looking for clout. I'm not looking for a back and forth. I could care less if this person saw this because somebody probably said, "Hey, Chris talked about you." All I'd say to the person, I'll look straight into the camera. If the person that I didn't mention their name wants to do a retaliation video, or whatever, I'll never watch it because I don't care. So if you want to talk bad about me and others, instead of just making high quality comic book videos that share the passion about comics and sharing your version of what you collect and maybe share your recommendations, your advice, and you'd rather do drama stuff to get views, eventually what's going to happen is you're going to say one wrong thing and the community will dump you. And believe me, I know that because my dumping of my channel happened when I was daring enough to talk about how I believe that the Mylar bags and boards are not as good as people recommend them to be for the amount of money that you have to spend. I got killed for that. And it's just my opinion. I wasn't attacking another YouTube channel, although I've had many people attack me. But again, many people talk about how they don't like drama, and yet those videos that start drama, and in my opinion, and I'll keep saying that, in my opinion, this person seems to feed off of that because he knows he can manipulate his audience, his fans and his enemies, to go click on his video, whether the thumb it up or thumb it down, and get plenty of ad revenue and plenty of traffic, which increases the recommendations of his channel. So do I know that's his plan to manipulate his fans and his haters? I'm not a mind reader. But like I said, I've never said anything about this person. Didn't even mention the person's name. Don't care to watch the video, nor will I ever. Don't care if he says anything about me on a daily basis. By their deeds you shall know them. So hopefully that answers your question. You all are entitled to love who you want. I could have 50 channels that I don't respect and don't like, and you could like every one of them. I would never say, "Oh, unsubscribe from my channel." I would never say anything that says don't watch them or go send hate their way. You're free to like who you want. If you like my channel, great. If you hate my channel, nothing I can do about it. I've been on YouTube long enough to know that there are certain people out there that are just angry, full of hate, or feel like they've been wronged because maybe, for example, I talk about CGC in an honest way, and that affects somebody's financial revenue who look the other way to make a sale that might not like me for being forthright. I can't control those people, nor do I want to. I do this like I did in the beginning when I didn't think my channel would ever amount to anything. I mean, I literally got 1,000 subscribers my first month that I started my channel. Never did it to try and get subscribers. I just liked sharing my collection, and I thought maybe a couple dozen people would like it. And that's why now I don't even know how many people watching my video right now. It's probably higher than normal because I talked about what some would be considered drama. So yeah, I have 28 viewers right now. So that is actually considered high for my channel these days. So there are probably some people here with alternative motives. Again, I don't care. But I am here for the 10, 15, 20, 25 people that want to listen to what I have to say. I could care less if I have 10 million subscribers. Would I love them? Sure. Would I make videos attacking bigger YouTube comic book channels on a regular basis and insult people to get views? 100% no. Does that mean somebody couldn't do it? Obviously, there are people who do it. But I live by, and I hope more people choose this, whatever they do in life, is the following. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. If you want to follow comic book channels or any YouTube channel, that makes their money off of taking advantage of both fan and non-fan by insulting others or doing drama or doing clickbait or doing, like prank channels that actually hurt other people's lives, sometimes life threatening, that they say, oh, it's just a prank. If you want to view those, you have the right to do it. That's what true freedom is about. But that says more about the people. Like, for example, this person that somebody asked me about. This person, I'll say it again, has the right to say and do whatever he wants. It's his channel. So I technically don't blame him as much as I blame his supporters and his viewers. Because if he had 8 views per video, and I'm assuming gender, by the way, so these days you can't just assume somebody's what they appear to be. So let's assume this person is male. Could live in California, I don't know. But if this person was doing all these videos and got 8 views, guarantee you, after about a month of trying, probably would never make another video again. But because this person is getting 4, 5, 6, 10,000 views, that's what we call, ladies and gentlemen, an incentive. Knowing that, okay, when I do these type of videos where I insult other comic book channels, whether it's in jest or he's sincere about his malice, I don't know, and he gets thousands of views from it, it's an incentive to continue to do it. So that person is responsible for their content, but that content continues because of the viewers who will go there, either to support the person or to insult the person. Either way, you're bringing that channel traffic, you're bringing that person's recommendations up at a higher level, you're bringing that person more ad revenue, and then the person feels like, like some of these influencers. I hate that word. That is such an egotistical word to call yourself an influencer. That says, oh, look at me. Everything's about me. That's why my channel, I could have called it You Love Comics. I could have called it I Love Comics. I called it We Love Comics. Because my channel, and I think maybe that's why people gravitated to my channel for the little time that they may have, is I made the channel about all of us. And many people that have been subscribed to my channel who remember back in the days when I used to do live videos, remember, ladies and gentlemen, unless I'm corrected and shown otherwise, I was the first person to do YouTube auctions. And when I did my YouTube auctions, which lasted about 8 hours, I never sold anything. I would have between 3 and 6 other YouTubers come onto my channel where I would get 1,000 views during the live stream, allow them to sell their books 4 hours. I didn't ask for a percentage. I didn't ask for money to come on. I didn't ask for anything. And I still am supposedly this dramatic person. And there will be people, and I won't mention names because I'm not going to mention somebody's name unless they want to make themselves known, that were on those videos that could back up what I say 100% as true. But my channel got nasty at some point because people thought, they could make views and make money by poo-pooing my name and doing very unethical things to my channel. And it worked. And back then, I was a lot more sensitive then than I am now. I shut that channel down because I got betrayed and backstabbed by people I thought were friends. But there's a difference between real friends and people you meet on the internet, unfortunately. And like you'll see, for example, if you know who Tom McDonald is, I am sure he gets thousands and thousands of emails every day of people that want to be his best friend. And I'm sure 99.9% of them could give a rat's behind about being his real friend. They just want to have their name or their channel shouted out or get some of his money. That's what's wrong, and that's what's happened to the internet. I started YouTube back in 2009. Back then, there wasn't the drama that there is today. But you will only see what it is that you, I would say, want, but also what you don't want. Because Disney, for example, is making a poop ton of ad revenue off of making movies, TV shows, and trailers that anger people. Why do they keep doing it? Because people keep going there. Who cares if there's 1,000 likes and 20 million dislikes? That means 20 million people went to Disney's channel to thumb down the video and make a mean comment that made them really feel good about themselves, while Disney Corporation is laughing their behind off on how many millions of dollars they stole from you. Actually, I can't even say stole, you gave to them. Just so you can feel good for 2 seconds and say, I thumbed down a video of Disney's. Or I made a review video saying how garbage a movie was. How about don't go to the movie and don't watch it? All of these videos, movies, and TV shows that have come out recently in the past few years that are DEI garbage, not one review. Why? Because I did not spend my money giving them the ability to use my money to make another one by giving them my energy. People need to really wake up. That's why the world is the way the world is right now. They're manipulating people. It's a drug. They are feeding you a drug that is legal. And that is trolling you to the point where they get you so mad you feel the need to take your energy, which could be used to save an animal or feed your children or get a better job, or maybe just go out on the beach and just enjoy the sunshine, or take a walk in the woods, or put your arm around somebody and tell them you love them, or make a new friend. Instead of doing anything positive, they get you to go to somebody's video and spew hatred and thumb down a video which makes you temporarily feel good, and you have to keep doing it. That's a sign of addiction. That's a problem. And that's why the person that's supposed and the person that sent me the message could have lied for all I know. Or they could have fabricated. Or maybe this individual's channel, maybe they did a lighthearted roast where it was actually complimentary. Again, I don't know. I don't watch. It's the people that go to the channel that justify that individual to continue to do that. The reason that Disney and other people in Hollywood, even in the video game industry and the TV industry, keep putting out this DEI garbage, even though nobody really wants it, is because people keep going back to the trailers and the reviews, and they make review videos that may bash the living daylights of and saying how bad it is, but they spent their money to do it, or they bought the product to review it. I'll give you a prime example of video games, and there's a big video game channel, and I won't mention the name because, again, I'm not looking for clout or go back to drama or anything. You can assume whoever it is that every year reviews the Madden football game of how bad it is. And I think like 8 or 9 years in a row, the game was basically the same with maybe a sprinkle of some additives. And every time he'd do an angry rant saying how bad it is and how people shouldn't buy it. Well, at what point are you going to say, yes, I need content, but I don't need to spend my money and do a review on something that obviously is going to be trash every year, other than the fact that they know that they'll get millions of views and have content because you can make content. Your ability to make content is limited by your brain. So if you think the only thing that will make you successful or relevant or whatever is by doing one specific thing, then you're narrow-minded. And it will not work forever. And it also depends on your intent. I love making these videos for the very few people that will watch. Now, I don't care about the ones that came here today because they think this is drama, or they're here just because, they want to thumb down the video. I'm here for the people like, for example, Sequential Geek, who's here all the time in my live chat. James Logan, always here on my live chat. Kino, see you all the time. Nate Dogg, I've seen you several times. Let's scroll up a little bit. Ronald, I've never seen you before, but welcome. He says he enjoys the videos. Thank you. Florence, follows me not only on this channel, but my other channel, which actually got pretty much banned and, excuse me, demonetized for speaking the truth. She's been following me for years. Let's see if there's anybody else. Sequential Geek did like 900 comments. Awesome. Let's see. Nate Dogg, I said. Foing333, seen you here several times. Agu Rhythms, seen you here multiple times. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. If I missed somebody because it's kind of speeding along. Punisher XS. So I'm here for the few that care about my channel. And that's why when I have my auctions, although be it few and far between, same people keep coming back. Now, if I was as evil as some people say I am, there's an old saying, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. I have people that buy at my auctions every single auction. So if I was screwing them like some people say I would do, or lying to them, or misleading them, or taking advantage of them, or overselling, or blah, 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 they wouldn't come back. I care about quality, not quantity. Now, does that mean my channel's perfect? No. Does it mean I say everything right? No. Does it mean that I'm the best channel and the only one you should watch? Absolutely not. As you can see, I'm very humble. If you want to watch channels that get their viewership and their money from insulting others, whether it is comedy, pranks, or sincere, you're adding fuel to the fire, and then you're complaining how much you get burned. If you like somebody that speaks their mind, whether you agree with what I speak, for example, or not, is up to you. But I'm going to share my honest thoughts. I am not going to, for example, promote a product just to make money if I don't believe in it. And I've had people ask me to review their products. And I said, are you sure you want me to do that? Because I'm not going to sign a contract and I'm not going to just say anything but good things unless I believe the product to be good. So most people don't want me to advertise for them because if I think something is misleading or dishonest or not as promoted, I'm not going to promote it. I am not going to have my subscribers have their money seem like it's been stolen because they listen to my advice. How many people out there have listened to my advice on what comics to buy and made a poop ton of money? How many people listened to me back in 2009? I'm sorry, not 2009. What am I saying? In 2016, when I was telling people to buy Ultimate Fallout 4s. And they haven't even made a live action movie of that character yet. They're going to. Same thing with the Edge of Spider-Verse 2. How many people made a poop ton of money? If you watch my videos, and that's why I don't make any top 10 books to buy like everybody keeps doing, because all the top 10 books videos I made back in 2016, 2017, years ahead of everybody else, and some of them are still relevant to this day. But if you look at those videos and what the prices were back then, if you would have listened to me then, you'd make thousands of dollars. But because many people listen to other people that are bigger influencers that may be jealous or maybe hateful or whatever, or maybe just want people to their channel instead, if you listen to those people and you bought like nothing but brand new comics that I stopped promoting like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and you lost all of your money on spending $200, $300, $400 on a comic that came out that day and is now lucky you sell it for $10, do you want to listen to those people because maybe they have a better quality stream, or they have a bigger channel, or they have better special effects, or better editing, or better scripts, or more drama? If you want to listen to those people, by all means, please do. I'm not here for those who hate me. I'm here for those who want to listen to me. And even those people, there are many times in Sequential Geek, you could be the first to admit it if you want. There's been times he's disagreed with what I said, but I've never seen him disagree with me on something I've said in an insulting way. He never said, "Oh, you idiot, you're wrong." No, he just said, "Whatever particular thing you said, I don't agree with." And that's fine. I have no problem with people disagreeing with anything I say. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not preaching to people on what to buy. I'm just sharing my opinion. Whether you agree with it or not, solely up to you. My problem has always been when people feel the need to insult you because you have a right to an opinion. Look at how crazy the world is now. I mean, you have governments that cannot tell you what a woman is. How sad is that? Just imagine if we go back 20 years, probably not even 20 years, let's say 15. If you ask somebody in government what a woman was, they would tell you it's a person with certain chromosomes that has a vagina, maiden vagina. But they can't do that anymore because then you're homophobic or transphobic or blah, blah, blah. It's just insanity. YouTube channels have learned how to manipulate their audience by tricking them, misleading them, taking advantage of them. My channel is not about that. So I'm not going to be popular. I'm not going to have the drama videos. The reason why this video is so busy right now, and again, I'll look how many viewers right now are watching this live. 25. So 3 people got sick of hearing me ramble, which I don't blame them. But that is about 15 more than what I usually get these days. Invest in what you want, buy what you want. If you watch people that do nothing that insult others, even if you watch them to hate watch, and you go there to thumb down their video, and you go there to leave nasty comments, that says more about you than the person. And it also tells the person, because they're only going to see the ad revenue every month and how much money they're making. That's what they're going to care about for the most part. They're not going to care about the thumbs down. They're not going to care about comments they'll probably never read. They're not going to care about response videos that they'll probably never watch. They're just going to keep tricking you. If you want to be easily fooled, and I'm not pointing to any particular person out there, because I don't know what people do and choose to do with their own personal time, nor do I care. But if you're one of those people that goes to a Disney trailer to thumb it down and say a nasty comment because you want to see how many people will thumb up your little, your little comment, your priorities need to be better. I spend my time twice a day, every day, feeding and taking care of stray cats. Just had to take another stray cat to the vet the other day. Priorities, ladies and gentlemen. I love my comics, but I love my wife more. I love the cats more. I love going out in nature more. But I love comics as well. You can have an equal balance. So if you think this book is not rare and you think it's not worth getting and you want to buy it for $100, God bless you, man. You are free to do whatever you want. But I will never make a video saying, oh, if you don't agree with this, you're stupid or you're wrong or that channel is crazy or this channel is ridiculous. I don't need the ad revenue. I'd love it. But every 4 or 5 months, I'll do an auction, make my money to pay my bills for the next 4 or 5 months, get a couple of comics or two, and be happy and make others happy in the process. That's the one thing I love about my auctions. The reason the same people keep buying from me over and over and over again is I treat them fairly, honestly, justly, and I'm a man of my word. And yes, I say I'm a man because I have a pie and not a vajayjay. So, if you liked anything about this video, you are more than welcome to hit the thumbs up button. If you hated this video and you want to hit the thumbs down, hey, if you came here just to thumb it down, by all means, go for it. Make yourself have that drug to feed that narcissistic viewpoint. By all means, enjoy your narcissism. Enjoy your drug. Either way, it gets traffic. Want to leave a comment? Awesome. I love reading people's comments. I don't get a lot of comments. Matter of fact, this live has been the most comments I've probably gotten in if you take the last 5 videos combined. So I thank you for taking the time. Let's see if there's any out there. Maybe somebody has a question before I go. Pino says, I didn't like his Spider-Man either when I was talking about Todd McFarlane's art. I agree. I didn't like it at first because I was so used to, like, for example, John Romita version of Spider-Man, that classic. And I always thought having like half of his mask just eyes, I always thought was kind of lazy because then you didn't have to draw on the spider webs and color it in. It was just white. But I grew to love it over time. But yeah, I didn't like it at first either. But you could have loved, the people could love it in the beginning. That doesn't make them wrong. Remember, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And see, here's what I talk about sequential geek when he said he'd pay 160 for those comments. And he said, and to be fair, just to show, no, I don't know, have not looked up stuff in a while. So there you go. That to me is humbling. That is not a person here to be abusive. That is a fair and honest reply. When I was saying, what prices would you pay for the books that I showed, which was probably an hour ago at this point, he said about 160. And I said, good luck just finding the one comic not in a newsstand at that price. I would love to pay 162, but it's just not available, and suggested he looked it up. If he was a hater, he could have said, "Oh, screw you," or doubled down. But no, humbled himself and said that he did not look up the stuff. Maybe that's why he's one of my moderators. Now, for all I know, he could be thumbing down the video right now if he chose to. He has the right to do it. I don't know a person's true motives, but to me, that's humbling. That says a lot about a person's character. And if a person, and I trust me, back in the days of the reason why I shut down my original channel is there were people that actually admitted live on air that they were just using my channel to make money and actually hated me. And I learned about it, that video, and I was dumbfounded. I mean, you talk about being sucker punched. These were people that were on my channel daily where we'd spend hours laughing and having fun to find out one day that one of the people absolutely, well, actually more than one, absolutely hated me and admitted on air that they only went on my live channel because they could make money on my auctions. I was like sucker punched to no end and just blown away by the betrayal. So I don't know. There are plenty of people that could pretend to be your friend and they just thumb down or leave nasty, whatever. That says more about them than it does me. Like I said, the person that started this whole rant of mine that asked about that specific YouTube channel, again, that will remain nameless, like I said, I think I've watched maybe one or two videos of his, maybe a year or two ago, and saw what type of person, based on those two videos, and based on titles I've seen, and based on what I've heard from others, not a person that I wanted to attach to, because it did not seem like the person was a sincere, genuine, caring individual who loved comics and the comic book community. When you're insulting other people's collections without knowing how they managed to get them or why they managed to get them, it's just not nice. But if you want to watch somebody like that because it's entertainment to you, by all means, please do. But let's read some other comments. And Sequential Geek says, wow, for that condition, still over 500 for that example. I hope that holds for me. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's why, like, even when people saw they wanted to pay 200-300 for this book, what I tell people is look up stuff and you'll see the lowest price was mid-grade for about $100 more than what I paid for these in higher grade. So I understand times people want specific prices. And I mean, you could try and get a deal from people. I've shown on numerous occasions and deals are out there. You got to look this stuff up. You have to have knowledge. Otherwise, if you just guess, it's like blackjack. If you guess wrong, you're going to lose. If you know how to play blackjack and use strategy and play with other people that know how to play blackjack, you have a better chance of winning. So if you want a better chance at being a better seller, if you are buying comics to eventually sell them, be knowledgeable, be current, be up to date. Don't guess, because when you guess, you'll tend to guess wrong more than you'll guess right. I don't make guesses. I base things on where I see things going, and I look at what sales are happening at that time. I want more people to do that. All right, let's see. Ronald says, enjoy your videos. Thank you. Synthetic Panel says, sorry, I just dropped in. Who are we talking about? If you read in the live chat, somebody mentioned the person's name. If anybody else wants to assume who it is, you could put it in the comment section. The reason I don't mention names is I'm not looking to get this person to do a reply and we go back and forth. As far as I'm concerned, this is the only time I'll ever talk about this person, even if they did a nasty makeup BS retaliatory video, don't care. I'm not an insecure person that has to go back and forth and justify what other people think. People can think whatever they want. Ricky says, love them rants. Thank you. ASM 300, I bought book years ago in a small comic book store in Hawaii. Very nice. Were you vacationing or do you live in Hawaii? I'm jealous about that. Nate Dogg says drama is real. Yeah, it's all over YouTube because people know that it gets views. Get enough views, get enough subscribers, you get a poop ton of money. I would love to make a poop ton of money. Not going to do it in the ways that people do it. I would never do a prank video and hurt others because it gets views. I would never do videos with doing nothing but clickbait and misleading people just to get views. I would never sell a product that I didn't believe in and mislead my people to make money. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Splinter Geek says, "Oh yeah, just noticed. Congrats WLC over 10,000." I've actually had 10,000 for almost 2 years now. I've had between 10,000 and 10,100 for the last 2 or 3 years. So I appreciate that, but it's stagnant at this point. And like I said, probably 9,500 of those 10,100 viewers don't even watch my videos. So I don't know why they're subscribed. So to me, it's just a number, but thank you. Nate Dogg was nice enough to say hit the like button. Thank you. Pino says life was better without the internet. You're not wrong about that. But then again, there's plenty of YouTube channels out there that speak about good things. I've learned a lot in my life thanks to YouTube. So it just depends on who you connect to. There's more bad because more bad gets attention. I'll give you an example. Go to anybody's YouTube channel, anywhere on the internet, where they read comments. They could have 500 good comments in a row. And if they see one negative comment, they'll focus on that. People tend to focus on negativity more than positivity because it just brings more traffic. Why do they say, and of course there's exceptions to every rule, but why do they say girls like the bad boys? But then they complain about those very bad boys they seem to be attracted to. People, for some reason, gravitate towards negativity. That's why my channel is never going to be successful, because I'm not willing to do the things that it takes these days to become successful. I'm not going to take advantage of my 10 to 15 regular viewers. And if that sacrifices thousands or millions of dollars, money is the root of all evil. It's nice to have, but it depends on how you get it. James Logan says, I remember your auctions back. I'm adding back in the days, but I'm assuming that's what he's talking about. James Logan, I won't talk about those names. One of them, let's just say the first one you wrote, good guy. Never had a problem with him. Whether that person has a problem with me, if they've done or said something secretly or on their channel, I don't know. But I've never had a problem with that person. In my opinion, I always thought he was a good guy. But the first person that you wrote, James, was not one that said bad things on my channel. The others, I'll just leave that alone because it's been years. I don't even remember their names. And that's the funny part. My channel was so successful. I mean, for example, the person that supposedly made a roast video with me in it knows my name, knows my channel. So I live rent free in many people's heads. All right, Ronald says, watch yours, and I'm not gonna say the person's name. Not person's names. He says, you listen. I'll just put it this way. He says, watch yours and a couple of other YouTubers because they're interesting along with yours and provide knowledge. Well, thank you. To me, it doesn't matter what reason you watch. As long as you enjoy it, that's fine. Pino says your channel is unique and informative on a multiple of topics. Thank you. And all of a sudden, it just froze up for a second. Give me a second. There we go. Um, I like this. I don't like comics. Says I love comics. Why remove my comments here? I'm not removing any. As you can see, I'm reading it. First time see your channel. I said I like you. List of priorities. Unless somebody says something nasty, I never remove anybody's comment. What I would recommend, go on live chat, not top chat. Live chat shows every comment. Top chat doesn't show every comment. So if you don't see your comment, two things have happened. Either you're on top chat instead of live chat, where YouTube will just not show every comment, or if you said a curse or something like that, it would go automatically in spam. I never delete anybody's comments. So I don't like comments. Just the fact that I'm reading yours should show you that I never remove people's comments. I mean, if you was like promoting a link to a porn site, yeah, you're getting blocked. But if you're just speaking your mind, even if you disagree, never are you ever going to be blocked. So unfortunately, I don't know why your comment isn't there. But like I said, if you switch to live chat, you'll probably see if you left another comment. Or again, you might have posted a link that'll automatically go to spam. But I do not remove comments, so I don't like comics. If you want to repost what you wrote and just don't put any links if you did, you'll see. I'll be more than happy to read them. But I don't, I never delete people's comments unless you said something nasty. So hopefully you'll fix that. Let's see. Synthetic says, I don't understand this not naming thing you're doing. It's just a choice. You don't have to understand it. To me, if I say a name, then people who like me may go to their channel and say something bad, or people that hate me might go to their channel and say, oh, this person's trying to start something. That's why. It's just my choice. You don't have to agree, but it's just easier. I'm not about the drama. Jeff says, hey there, I just had a quick question. I got an Amazing Spider-Man 309.6 CGC recently, but it has off-white to white pages. Should I try and get one with white pages? I'll give you an honest opinion on that. The difference between off-white and white is so minuscule. It's basically for people who need perfection. If you have a 9.6 with white pages and a 9.6 with off-white pages, you could sell them for the same price. So it's basically taste and your own need. If you have a need for perfection, then get white pages. Me, I don't care about the grade. I mean, as long as it's an accurate grade. I mean, I don't want something a 9.8 that's a 0.5. But I don't care if I buy a 0.5. And I don't care if it has white pages or off-white pages or cream to white pages or tan to cream. Or I have some that have brittle pages. Let me see. So, like, for example, here's my Superman 2, which, by the way, when I bought this, I think back in 2017 or 2018, people laughed at me because I originally was told this was a facsimile cover. I paid $385 for Superman #2. Okay. Actual real cover. Just what happened is, and this is probably why the person that sold it assumed it was facsimile, is somebody reglossed it and then took marker and colored it in. Like this, they used a highlighter, and I guess they used a red ink to to color the living daylights out of this. Because I remember, and you could watch the video I had with the unboxing. Even then, when I opened this up, and this was before I got it graded, I said for a facsimile cover, this is not unlike anything I've ever seen because I have many facsimile covers. But this has, as you can see, tan to off-white pages. I could care less about pages. So the advice I would give you is whatever makes you happy, buy it. Never go by there are some YouTubers that if it's not a 9.8 with white pages, they won't touch it. Again, they have the right to do it, but those people probably may have a house that if somebody comes in and doesn't take their shoes off, they might explain that to them. They might have plastic on their couch. They might have the fancy silverware that no one ever gets to use. Who knows? Or they could be just a person that likes white pages. To each their own. Buy what you love, and those things to me are just, it's like owning a Lamborghini that doesn't have leather seats. If you have a Lamborghini that doesn't have leather seats, and you have a Lamborghini that does have leather seats, are they really that different? It's just minor stuff. So my opinion to the question you're asking me is, I wouldn't worry about the color pages unless that matters to you. So if that matters to you, and again, depends on the price. I'm not going to spend, if I have a 9.6, let's just say a 9.6 of a comic for $500 off white to white pages. Well, let's just say off white for $500. And I see the same grade for a book with white pages for $600, why would I spend an extra $100 on a graded book where I can't even see the pages? I don't get it, but that's just me. So again, buy what you love, and if you think it's important, by all means, please do buy what you think will work. Let's see. Ricky Camacho says, been watching your channel for years. Years I don't always agree with what you say. Perfectly fine, perfectly respectful. To me, if there's somebody who agrees with every single thing I've ever said, that person I would consider a yes man or yes woman. Because I'm sure there's got to be something that I would do or say that they may not agree with. Nothing wrong with that. I have people that sometimes feel the need that they might have to put on the charm extra. And that's fine if they're sincere about it. But don't think you're going to hurt my feelings if you say, well, you talked about this book, I don't necessarily agree. Or you talked about a price, and I don't agree with that price as being good. Or whatever. That's fine. No one has to agree with everything I say. To me, it's all about ego. If your ego is that damaged by somebody's opinion, now, if somebody says, I don't agree with what you said, and you're an idiot, and you're a jerk, and I'm going to make up lies about you, and I'm going to say nasty things, a little different. But if you don't agree, nothing wrong with that. Anna Love says, I'm not here for drama, but good. I just like hearing comic talk in the background when I'm doing redundant stuff, and you are on. I'm not a fan of drama. Anna, welcome. And I know many people that will use my rants to eat their dinner or do mundane projects. Hopefully, they're not doing it while they're driving or flying a plane. Flying in a plane is one thing, but flying the plane. I used to kid with one of the subscribers says every time he like got on my live chat, he said he's working. I said, "Oh yeah, I hope you're not driving a bus or flying a plane." But yeah, I've had people just put my voice on just to listen to some white noise in the background. That's cool. I appreciate that, and I'm glad you're here, and hopefully I'll see you again. Michael says, Ramita was smooth art, and I think still the best rest of his soul. Absolutely can't go wrong with the classics. There will be people that may disagree, but again, art is subjective. Let's see. Due to Ryan, I've been watching your channel for years. Always appreciated your insight and knowledge and honesty. The world sorely needs more of that. Well, thank you, and I cannot argue with that last statement. I think integrity should come back. I think people should be a little bit more caring about, what they do and say about others and taking responsibility for things they may promote, for example, or talk about. If I do something and it's wrong, I'll clarify it because, mistakes happen. Okay, I read Jeff, and I think that's pretty much it. Let me just scroll down to the end just in case. Florence says I'm doing that right now. So there you go. Listening to me, hopefully not doing anything that needs your full attention. Ricky said, went back a few times to watch your old videos, still trying to get some of those comics. Um, Sequential, it says you redacted two of your messages, so I don't know what those were. But that's pretty much it. So I don't see any new responses from I don't like comics. So maybe the person left or whatever. But in case you ever watch again, I don't like comics, or you're still here, feel free to make any comment anytime you want, as long as there's no cursing or any links or anything like child pornography or something. Uh, there's never going to be anything deleted. Now, if I go back and I see something in spam, remember that's not up to me. That's up to YouTube. So I'll never delete a comment unless it's nasty or inappropriate or it's a link. So with that being said, let's do today's surprise subscriber shout outs. We're going to go with I Don't Like Comics, and we're going to go with Anna. Both of you are today's surprise subscriber shout outs, which means um, once this video uploads, if you want to post a link in the comments section to either a YouTube channel that you have or a specific video, you can do that by placing that link in the comment section. If you don't have a YouTube channel or you'd rather promote a link to one of your social networks like Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, you can do that instead. Or if you'd rather do a link to something that you sell on eBay, Amazon, Etsy, or any of those places, I'll let you decide which one to do. Now, it doesn't have to be comic book related, but it does have to be for all ages appropriate. In other words, I will not promote a prank channel. I will not promote somebody selling adult toys. So it has to be something suitable for all ages. Now, when you post a link in the comment section, it will automatically go to spam, so you will not see it at first. The reason I do that is to keep spammers and trolls from putting inappropriate links on my channel where somebody would click on it and it brings them somewhere they don't want to be. So I approve every link that I verify it before I approve it. So if you see a link, that means it has been approved by me, so it won't take you anywhere inappropriate. So I always highly recommend to my viewers, if you are one of those kind people to browse the comment section and you see a link to somebody that was the surprise subscriber shout out and the link is there, that means it has been approved and it will take you somewhere that will be suitable for all audiences. Go view their Instagram or go check out their YouTube channel or see what they have for sale on Amazon or eBay. Let's show the community what the community should really be about. Not about drama, but about helping one another. Because when we all succeed, you're one of the people that succeed with us. So remember, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, okay. Before I go, because I was about to end, I see I don't like comics made another comment. So here you can see I'm not deleting. I don't like comics says I will subscribe to your channel today. I love vintage toys, comics, and Wi-Fi stereos or hi-fi stereos. So great. So I don't like comics. I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry that happened. It must have been something that YouTube dictated as spam, or maybe you put it on live chat and it fixed the problem. But I'm glad you're here, and I appreciate your subscription. And hopefully you'll come back and comment more often, and you'll see what my channel's all about. So thank you so much for leaving a comment, and I'm glad you have today's surprise subscriber shout out, and you were here to hear it. So when this video uploads, if you want to post a link to some of your passions, if you have a Facebook page or you sell any of the stuff you're talking about on an eBay or something, please put that in. So thanks for watching. And ladies and gentlemen, remember, it's not you, it's not I, it's we love comics. I love all you guys, no matter what reason you're here for. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered. Let me know what you think about the AI art, and I'll see you next video. Thanks, everybody. Oh, and the link I just put in the live chat, that's to my mystery boxes that I sell. Go click on it. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll see pyramids and soaps and stuff. You're on the right channel. Scroll to the comments section and get one of my mystery boxes, anywhere from a $25 basic mystery package to a $5,000 platinum package. And if you want to check other YouTubers that have bought from me that made videos, just go in the YouTube search engine and type in We Love Comics mystery boxes so you can see the kind of stuff I give out. I give out good stuff that appreciates in value. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Enjoy the rest of your day.